$200 worth of filters. But
Okay,
reverse osmosis.
okay, I'll start doing streaming.
Okay. Reverse osmosis was technology designed to desalinate seawater.
Mighty leader,
So
forgive this and
it filters out even salt from seawater. So it's a very, very, very complete process.
Hey, I was thinking about the future in regard to solar power, because the grid doesn't work anymore. And I thought, well, if it's going to be drought situations and climate change, then we're going to need water. I heard about these machines. You plug into the wall, you get 30 litres a day from the machine, and you look right into them. They got all this multi-stage filtering going on. They got that pipe. You look into it, you think, well, how much are those filters, and how often do I have to replace them? Okay, and what actually is this machine? It's just a dehumidifier. A dehumidifier will create water. And what do you need water for? Maybe you can just use water straight out of a dehumidifier to put on plants, but you wouldn't want to drink it. It's all got to do with, as you know, garbage in the air coming into contact with the water, the containers themselves. They all have to be kept pristine clean if you want to drink straight out of the dehumidifier. So as a result, we go through these filtration stages, and the more levels of filtration, of course, the purer the water is at the other end. But I mean, that means that you've got to replace filters. So of course, you've got to look at which ones are clogging up and how often they clog up, and it's all a variable. And they're all different meshes of filtration going on inside each one of the containers. Yeah, it's an interesting thing. They're not that expensive, those machines, but I'd hate to think what the filters would cost you. The ones I was looking at, like the 30 litres a day plug into the wall, it's all relative. You've got to be in an area of high humidity for these things to work. So if you're not in an area of high humidity, you won't get 30 litres a day. So, things like that come into play. And also, that unit was, it refrigerated the water and everything. Like, it made it so that you could just drink it straight out of the machine.
Yeah, this is the one that I've got.
Pestilence and decay.
Yeah, right. Well, that's kind of what's sitting inside those machines. It's hanging off the end of the dehumidifier. Rows of those bloody things, yeah. There's about 5 inside the unit I was looking at, but it all, they charge depending on how good they are, how clean the water is. So that'll take salt out, so you could bang salt in that, and see, that's great, because that means you can just salt water. You're laughing. And I must admit, I've rented houses in the past where those things have been installed, and they're a pain in the ass because the filters have to keep getting changed.
That's the pain in the ass. But they work great when they're working.
Yeah, they do. As a matter of fact, a place I used to work at sold units like that. At one stage, I used to sell little units like that. I don't think they were as good as that. That was because it was a long time ago.
Yeah, so there's a couple of filters in the one that I showed you, but there's the one that's on the top, like that's horizontal instead of that's where all the magic happens. It's the reverse osmosis membrane, and so basically the way it works is there's this membrane and it's got these microscopic holes in it. Water particles can flow through, but everything else gets basically filtered out. And then a decent amount of pressure is built in it, and it just pushes the water through, and only the water makes it through.
Yeah.
And then, so at that point, the water is completely stripped of all of its everything. In fact, it's kind of acidic, so it's not actually the best to be drinking. You're not getting anything. So after that, we've got a what it does is it injects like calcium and some other minerals that you should typically have in water. And so it's kind of like mineral water now.
This now belongs to Crypto.
Good looking unit.
Hold your Majesty.
And you can buy the replacement cartridges for 40, so it runs you about $40 a year to run it.
Your Majesty, our new building is complete. Your Majesty, our new building is complete. Your Highness, we've improved the guardhouse.
Yeah, it's 1 year.
That's alright.
A lot better than what the water bottles would give.
Hang on, why is it saying no membrane? Because the membrane's an extra $55 or something. And that's that membrane you were talking about for that reverse osmosis thing, where that's where the particles are collecting. You've got to throw that away, do you?
Yeah, you got to dispose of it. I don't think you want to. Yeah, I don't think you. Fortunately, I don't think. It's so. You know, the holes are so small. I don't think you can clean it.
No. You know, some of these systems they can do like a reverse flush and somehow, you know, like pool filters, but maybe not with that because as you said, the holes are so small, they just totally clog.
Yeah, I think it's worth exploring though. Maybe doing some research to see if they can be reconditioned, because that would save you some money.
Cottage industry.
Your Highness, we've improved the guardhouse. Your Majesty, our new building is complete.
My service ends.
Like printer refills became a cottage industry that sprung up overnight. You know, reverse osmosis, membrane flushing services.
Your Majesty, the royal treasury is nearly empty. Coverage! The building has been upgraded.
You got to wonder about these people that are ahead of the curve.
What do you mean?
Like crazy shit that just happened.com and it's already registered.
Oh, that's
Your Majesty, our new building is complete. Your Highness,
And then when you realise all the
we've improved
derivatives are
guardhouse.
also taken, you go, what the
Your
fuck?
Majesty, our new building is complete.
One step closer to oblivion.
I am a champion!
Made it through the night, no hacker. No new files on the server. I'm in good shape. I think I finally got it cleaned up.
The royal treasury is nearly
You
empty.
got it done, did you?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I mean, fair enough, you got done, but you don't know how you got done. I mean, what's going on?
Oh no, well,
A building has been upgraded.
I got hacked through a vulnerability in the site. We removed the vulnerability in the site, and I thought I removed all the entry points the hacker had used.
Yeah,
but
that's
I had,
that word test.
yeah, I had. He was coming in through other vulnerabilities that he had created. He had left some files that I overlooked somehow. So I got infected again. I cleaned up the shit, and I kept cleaning up. And I'm like, well, how's he getting in? So I finally went back into the logs and saw that he was coming in through a file that I didn't know existed. I'm like, well, how did he do that? And apparently on the 24th he laid some files that I didn't know about. So I just compared my log of what the server looked like on the 24th with the way it is now, and was able to pick out all the files that he had put on there back then that I overlooked and cleaned it up. Every day I have a script that uses locate and records. I just dump the location database into a text file, and then compare it with yesterday's text file, so I can and email it to myself so I can see what the what new files were created. And then I keep that file for a month, so every day I just have a folder with the date of the month, the day of the month, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, and a text file that lists all the files that were on that day. So at any given point in time, I can run my script and compare 2 days and see what files between those 2 days were created.
So, what, he was using the site for phishing, was he?
A what?
He was using it for phishing.
I don't know what he's using it for. He was putting, they encode their hack files they put in, they encode, and I didn't bother decoding it. But it looked like he was trying to, it didn't look like he was making sites, it looked like he was, well, maybe he was, I don't know. But I end up with a coded PHP file that calls to a coded icon file that has PHP in it. And he also does put headers in some of my PHP files as well, and those headers must be there to collect information like passwords and shit.
I would just call in his PHP from somewhere else.
Well, they do that, yes.
Pestilence and decay.
I wonder who the fuck did that. You reckon it was a targeted attack, or it was just scripted?
Oh, it was scripted, but he definitely came in because at one point I found plugins into one of the sites that they had actually installed that give them a shell. It's called WordPress shell.
Someone had been in there.
Well, they were there, so I have to assume someone used them.
Okay.
Someone put them there and went into the shell to set up. So some portion of that process was manual.
I go and check the file creation dates on stuff. Gives you an idea if they've been back looking or doing things. And then
Well,
go and have a look at the log.
That's the thing, the file dates that he puts on are all different dates, older dates. But if I stat the file, I can see when it was made.
So he's copying across, basically.
Yeah.
Like wget or syncing them, syncing them or something.
Yeah.
Well, it should still be in the logs where they come from. Unless he's just, like... Well, no, if they're older files, then they've got to come from somewhere else.
Only the initial ones are in the logs.
Yeah, I hate it when you get your ass handed to you like that. I've had it handed to me a few times now. Seriously, and I kept on making the same mistake. I kept on installing the same panel over and over, and they were getting in through the panel.
Oh dear.
It felt like such a goat, you know, especially when you read up on the panel and realise that people have been warning others about this for about 5 years.
Yeah, I have websites I go to that scan my sites and tell me about vulnerable plugins. I have one vulnerable plugin on my site I have to figure out how to replace, but otherwise I'm secure. The one they were coming in through was like a CSS one that lets me just plug CSS directly into the website instead of putting it into a file. So that wasn't terribly hard to get rid of. Once I got rid of that, then they stopped coming in, and then they started coming in again, but that was because of the back doors they left behind. So I think I'm okay now.
First time they done me, they built my server with scripts of phishing sites, and it was mainly the Bank of Scotland, and the login screen for the Bank of Scotland, totally copy of it, and they'd really built my site, and I gave up on the site, and I just killed the whole thing, didn't bother looking at it, and restored the backup, and within 2 days they were back into me again, and this time there weren't hundreds of sites, it was only like 3 or 5 or something by the time I got onto it, and so I took note of it, I took an image of it all, and tried to work out what was going on, but then ended up just replacing it all anyway, and going back to an earlier backup to get my data, because that's what you have to do, isn't it? So I end up losing shit, but that's what happens.
Well, I've got the Ducati running now, and it's working, so I can now go retrieve backups from the nightly backups from any day, because it does incremental backups. But I didn't do that for most of the stuff here. I didn't need to, because he wasn't destroying anything, and I knew how to clean up what he was doing. And I've also learned that if I stat the file, and I see when its actual creation date is, I can go into my log and just kind of scan the minute that the file was created, and in there I can usually see where the hack occurred, and then that tells me where the vulnerability is.
Alright.
Yeah.
Alright, the stream is over.
How'd it go? Did you win?
Yeah, I'm playing single player Majesty, playing it through. The fun fact is I can beat the base with my eyes, you know, my eyes covered, you know, but the expansion is another bowl of apples, man. Expansion is just crazy. Okay, stopping the stream now.